When you think of Marvel, you probably picture bright, bold heroes saving the day with a smile on their face. But what happens when those familiar faces face their darkest hour? What happens when the multiverse takes a twisted turn and the line between hero and villain blurs into a nightmarish landscape? Well, today we're diving deep into the darkest corners of the Marvel Universe. From mind-bending apocalyptic futures to horrifying realities where heroes fall from grace, Marvel has crafted some of the most chilling alternate timelines that will haunt your dreams. In this video, we'll be counting down the top 10 darkest Marvel timelines where hope is in short supply and evil reigns supreme. Be prepared for shocking twists, corrupted heroes, and realities where the very essence of life and death is turned upside down. Stick around until the end, because I've got some bonus content that'll make even the darkest Marvel story feel like a sunshine day. So, hit that thumbs up if you're ready to explore the darker side of Marvel, and let's get started. 10. Days of Future Past. Earth 811 is one of Marvel's darkest alternate futures, where Sentinels have taken over and rule with an iron fist. In this grim reality, the Sentinels, known for their relentless pursuit of mutants, have exterminated most of their opposition. The few surviving mutants are imprisoned in concentration camps, stripped of their freedom and hope. It's not just mutants who have suffered. Many of the world's greatest heroes, including the Avengers, Spider-Man, and the Fantastic Four, have been eliminated as well. This dystopian timeline is a bleak, oppressive world where resistance is futile, and almost all of Earth's heroes are dead. It's a reality defined by despair, where humanity and mutants alike live under the shadow of Sentinel domination. 9. Earth X. This reality was created by Alex Ross and Jim Krueger in the late 1990s. Earth X, Earth 99997, was Marvel's ambitious answer to DC's Kingdom Come. While it leaned more into cosmic elements, it was no less dark or complex. In this alternate reality, the Inhumans released the Terrigen Mists into the Earth's atmosphere, intending to transform ordinary humans into superpowered beings. However, this sparks widespread chaos as countless people suddenly develop unpredictable abilities. The situation escalates when it's revealed that a celestial egg is incubating within Earth's core, threatening to hatch and destroy humanity. To combat this existential threat, Franklin Richards adopts the mantle of Galactus and teams up with his father, Mr. Fantastic, and Black Bolt to defeat the Celestials and destroy the egg. However, their actions leave Earth unstable, triggering a series of natural disasters that further plunge the world into turmoil. Earth X explores the unintended consequences of power and the cost of survival in a superhuman-dominated world. 8. Zombieverse. One of the darkest and most notorious alternate realities in the Marvel Universe is the Zombieverse of Earth 2149. In this horrific reality, almost every hero and villain you know, whether you love them or despise them, has been turned into a zombie or killed. Many beloved non-powered characters also meet their gruesome end, leaving the world decimated. Even Ash Williams, the iconic undead fighter from Evil Dead, makes an appearance. Ash finds his way to one of the last safe havens on Earth Castle Doomstat, the home of Dr. Doom. While Ash survives the horrific events, Doom and many others do not. The castle is eventually overrun by the zombie horde. In a final attempt to save the survivors, Doom rushes to open a portal, ushering them through and intending to close it behind them. However, Doom's escape is thwarted, and instead of fleeing, he becomes just another victim zombie food. 7. Ultimate. The Ultimate Universe, Earth 1610, was created to be a grittier, more mature counterpart to Marvel's main Earth 616 continuity. This darker reality saw Tony Stark and Carol Danvers resolve their differences not through diplomacy, but by hooking up, following Tony's split from Black Widow. Natasha Romanoff, who in the main continuity was a loyal ally, turned out to be an actual spy with plans to betray her teammates. Her betrayal led to a tragic end when Hawkeye, usually one of her closest friends, killed her in cold blood. In this universe, Clint Barton lost his entire family due to Natasha's treachery as they were murdered by her associates. After being captured and tortured himself, Clint escaped by using his fingernails as weapons. He later found Natasha in a hospital and executed her in a fit of revenge. This darker, edgier universe pushed the boundaries of what we expect from Marvel, turning beloved heroes into morally complex and often ruthless versions of themselves. 6. Earth 133371. In Earth 133371, the timeline takes a dark turn with the possibility that the Brood Queen was victorious in her conquest and sought to extend her rule by travelling through a crack in the universe into Earth 616. While it's unclear if this was the true cause of the dark timeline, it certainly casts a grim shadow, particularly over Professor Xavier. In this reality, Xavier is transformed into a massive, mutated creature, resembling a giant whale, and becomes possessed by the Brood Queen herself. Using his space vessel, Xavier transports the Queen and her army, bringing them closer to their conquest. After a fierce battle with the Extreme X-Men, this version of Xavier reaches a tragic conclusion. Realizing he is a threat to his own people, and fearing future manipulation by evil forces, he asks Dazzler to end his life, hoping to prevent further harm. It's a somber reflection of a world where even the mightiest heroes can be turned into instruments of destruction. 5. Old Man Logan. One of the bleakest alternate realities in Marvel's multiverse is the world of Old Man Logan. This grim future shows a potential fate for Wolverine, set years after a catastrophic final showdown between superheroes and villains, where the villains ultimately claimed victory. In this dystopian timeline, America is divided among supervillains, leaving the world in chaos. Logan, once a fierce hero, is now a broken man, haunted by the darkest mistake of his life. Under the influence of one of Mysterio's powerful illusions, Logan was tricked into slaughtering his fellow X-Men, believing them to be enemies who had infiltrated the X-Mansion. The trauma of this event forces him to abandon his Wolverine persona, choosing a life of reluctant pacifism. However, in a world ruled by villains, Logan is pulled back into a violent path as he confronts his past and fights for survival. 4. Age of Apocalypse. Let's explore how this dark reality came to be. It all started with Legion, the troubled son of Professor X, who travelled back in time with the intention of killing Magneto, believing this would prevent him from becoming a future threat. However, things took a tragic turn when the plan went horribly wrong. In an attempt to stop Legion, Professor X sacrificed himself, trying to protect Magneto. In the chaos, Legion accidentally killed his own father. This single, heartbreaking event caused a massive disruption in the timeline, leading to the rise of the Age of Apocalypse. In this twisted reality, the world is dominated by Apocalypse, one of the most powerful and ruthless villains in the Marvel Universe. With Professor X dead, Magneto steps up to lead the X-Men, fighting to protect humanity and the mutant race from Apocalypse's oppressive rule. But even after a hard-fought victory, the battle isn't over. The story takes another dark turn when Weapon X, the version of Wolverine in this reality, turns rogue. Instead of remaining the hero, he seizes the mantle of Apocalypse, plunging the world back into chaos. This new reign sets the stage for another era of darkness, where hope seems nearly impossible to find, and survival becomes the ultimate challenge. 3. Rain. The series. SpiderMan. Rain unfolds in the bleak alternate future of Earth 70237, where New York is a dystopian city devoid of superheroes and supervillains. Instead, the government and police have taken complete control, enforcing a strict, oppressive regime that feels like a Big Brother surveillance state. In this grim reality, a broken and aging Peter Parker lives in isolation, having lost his sanity after the death of Mary Jane, who haunts him as a dark, lingering hallucination. Struggling with guilt and loss, Peter attempts to don the Spider-Man suit one last time, but he's far from his prime. The tragic climax sees him defeated, his skull brutally crushed with Mary Jane's tombstone, symbolizing the final blow to the hero he once was. This timeline explores a hauntingly dark and tragic end for Spider-Man, stripped of hope and heroism. 2. Thanos Winds. The reality of Thanos Winds is known as temporary reality number 6666, TRN66, and just the number itself hints at how dark this alternate timeline is. In this grim universe, Thanos has succeeded in wiping out virtually every living being in the galaxy, becoming an all-powerful king. With the universe reduced to ashes, he commands Ghost Rider, now the Cosmic Ghost Rider, a maddened Frank Castle who was driven insane as the spirit of vengeance after being stranded on Earth for centuries. Thanos orders Ghost Rider to bring the younger version of himself, the Thanos from Earth 616, to kill the older, more powerful King Thanos, allowing him to finally be with his true love, death. In this reality, the Hulk has been kept as a pet for years, a tortured, broken creature under Thanos' control. The galaxy, once filled with heroes and hope, is now a desolate, barren wasteland where King Thanos reigns supreme. Ghost Rider, now aligned with the Tyrant, joins forces with Thanos after they defeat Galactus, and together, they are the undisputed rulers of the universe. The twisted, chaotic nature of this reality showcases the ultimate triumph of darkness and despair. 1. Cancerverse. In the twisted reality of the Cancerverse, a dark and disturbing universe, the Lovecraftian elder gods, known as the Many-Angled Ones, forged a grim pact with the cancer-ridden inhabitants of this realm. Instead of succumbing to the inevitable cycle of life and death, these beings used a forbidden ritual to eradicate the very concept of death itself. At first, this might seem like a cure, immortality granted to all, but it was a horrific distortion of life. The absence of death threw the universe into chaos, where everything became diseased, decaying, and trapped in an endless, unnatural cycle. Life could no longer evolve or rest, leaving everything in a constant state of torment. Even the once heroic figures of Earth 111 fell victim to this nightmarish reality. The heroes of this world, once vibrant and full of hope, were twisted by the corrupting influence of the Cancerverse. Franklin Richards, one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe, was consumed by the Many-Angled Ones, turning him into their vessel and host. The Cancerverse's corruption didn't stop there, as it sought to infiltrate Earth 616, attempting to spread its twisted existence across the multiverse. This universe stands as one of the darkest, offering no escape from its eternal suffering, where decay, madness, and the absence of natural death reign supreme. And there you have it, our countdown of the top 10 darkest Marvel timelines. From apocalyptic futures to twisted realities where the heroes we know are turned into something unrecognizable, these alternate universes show just how grim things can get in the Marvel multiverse. While these timelines may be filled with darkness and despair, they also remind us of the stakes of heroism and the cost of power. Which dark timeline stood out the most to you? Are there any other twisted realities in the Marvel universe that we didn't mention? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Marvel's darker side, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more content like this. And remember, there's always more to explore in the multiverse, so stay tuned for our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.